So this is the little project that I've been working on for the last few weeks. This is the 53 quart AJ50. The AJ50 is now secured into the RAV4, and I have utilized this slider system, and I created this deck right here. So this is one of the new pieces of equipment that I want to share with you guys today. But first, let's start off with the fridge. I have posted this fridge on this channel before. It was in more of a testing context. So now I kind of have it a little bit more set up the way that I intended on setting this up. So I can kind of show you guys a little bit more in depth and in detail how I have it incorporated in my RAV4's setup. I have the insulated jacket. This is that black thing that's around the fridge itself. This helps control the temperatures a bit, especially since I keep this in the car now. It's been pretty warm in Southern California recently, so the interior temperature, even with the windows tinted and the sun visor that I usually have up on the front windshield, it's been getting pretty warm inside the vehicle. The SETPOWER fridge I've been testing out now since January, so about a little over 6 months now, 7 months. So I've definitely put it through its paces. It's taken quite a beating overall. If I could do it again, I'd probably go a little bit smaller, maybe the 40 quart, but overall I have no complaints with this setup. So a little closer look into the fridge itself. Plenty of space in the 53 quart. So you can see, you got a main tray in here. You have a divider, and there's a light here, and then it's also 2 zones. This zone here is a non-refrigerated area, so it's more of just like a cool compartment. This is the actual cold compartment. Some helpful information included under the lid. The top of the fridge has these little cup holder indents. Mine stays here most of the time, but I'm sure you could easily make it part of the furniture, like your table type setup out at your camping spot with an external battery source. So I definitely see some use out of this, but mine will probably just stay in the car itself, just because I also don't want to worry about getting things sucked into the fan, even though the insulation jacket actually has some additional protection. The screen is accessible over the jacket as well, so you can control your temperature here. You can set from max power to eco mode right here, and then you're on and off. This thing is almost completely silent. Even when the compressor kicks on, you might hear a little bit of a hum, but it is silent. If anything, the battery that I'm running it off of, the EcoFlow River 600, makes more noise when that fan is kicking on to cool itself off than the compressor in the SETPOWER fridge. So in terms of setup, as you can see, I have it mounted on a SETPOWER slider. Very inexpensive slider compared to some of the other models out there. I think I paid less than $200 for this one. So very inexpensive slider, very rugged overall. I'll go over a little bit more of this installation, because this installation, as you can see, is very custom. The fridge itself is strapped down with these straps, which actually come with the slider. So this will be included, and that way you're able to secure the fridge itself to the slider, and then everything's on a secure base that's not going to move around on the trail. I removed the factory deck board from the back of my RAV4 and tossed it and built this out of wood so that I had a more rigid platform to mount this to. The slider itself is very easy to use. You have a handle here. You'll twist upwards to unlock it, and you'll be able to pull it out and slide. There are 2 settings on this, so it won't just completely slide out on you. So this is fully extended. You can see how far that sticks out. Here is a closer look at the slider itself. It should be compatible with all of the AJ line, so the AJ30, the AJ40, and the AJ50 from SETPOWER. So that is the fridge fully extended. And one of the reasons you want it extended, because especially since this is a larger model, is the ability to completely open it. As you can see, it opens up without any issues on top. Although you can still open it while it's completely in there, it's not as wide of an opening, and depending on what you're trying to put in here or take out of here, it might not be the most convenient. So super cool design, super smooth. As you can see, it's got these high quality drawer sliders. Height-wise, the AJ50 comes up a little over the back seats. I think I mentioned earlier in this video that if I could do it again, I'd probably do a 40. And the reason for that is because even though the footprint overall is going to be the same, it's a little shorter in design. So even with the slider, I think that you should be at about the height of the back seats. And if you're not using the slider, it should be short enough to where you're still able to utilize the cargo cover in the back here and still have all your stuff back here. So if you're just kind of using the SETPOWER fridge for like a day trip kind of thing, you can have all your stuff chilling in the back and covered. You can keep some privacy and no one knowing that you're carrying equipment back there. I know a lot of you are going to have questions about my power setup and how I'm running power to the SETPOWER fridge. My whole power and solar setup on this RAV4 is going to be a whole different video, so make sure you stay tuned, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell. This system is just about done to where I think I can share my thoughts and opinions on it and share how the build went.